Welcome back, guys,
to MuscleMamiTalk, episode number 2.
Episode number 2. We hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. We're going to get better and better with the quality and everything and our flow as well. But we appreciate everybody's support. Now on to episode 2. We're going to start with just giving you guys some tips. And again, we want to start out by saying that we don't have our doctorates, we don't have our PhD in like science, sports medicine, but we both have experience, whether it's through personal trainers or I took some NASM courses. So just want to give you tips because we know that one of the common questions or recurring themes for anybody that starts at the gym, right, is like, we always tell you like, or like you hear people say like, oh, you should go prepared or go with the plan. And I know one of the questions is like, okay, well, how do I even plan a workout? Like, how do I program a workout? How about that? Right? So totally, even with me, from my experience, that was one of my questions too. It's like, okay, how do I start a how do I program a workout? How do I start it? Right? So we're just going to kind of give you the basics to kind of help you and guide you start if you're starting your gym journey, right? So one of the things that I've learned through my journey, having personal trainers, working at a gym, is it's good to prioritize compound lifts, right? So compound lifts means it's one of like the workouts or exercises that give you the most strain because you're working multiple muscles at once. So for example, if I'm doing leg day, right, I'm going to start with a barbell squat, right? So a barbell squat, then I'll do a barbell front squat, hack squat, leg press, and then I'll do my secondary, those accessory movements after I leave those to the end, right? Because I'd rather use all my energy for those big compound lifts, and then, at the end, you do those secondary movements, right? Whether it's the quad leg extension machine, right? Whatever it is. So just to give you a tip, right, when you're starting, that way you have somewhere or like a map on how to start your workouts, right? And granted, like, this is for beginners, right? I know your goals may change, right, in the future, right? Wherever you are in your fitness journey, whether you're in the middle, intermediate, or advanced, it may change. Maybe your goals are different, so you're going to want to plan or program your workouts differently, and that's okay. This is just advice for, like, when you're starting and you want to know how to program it. Okay. So, again, this is called the Muscle Mommy Show, right? We're all about getting swollen muscles, right? So I think one of the things that a lot of us can relate to on our journey to gaining muscle is how do we gain muscle and not gain a lot of fat along with it, right? It's just going to come hand in hand, but how do we reduce that, right? And a lot of us that are in the whole muscle building journey, we know that if we incorporate cardio, we're going to lose fat, but then we're also going to lose muscle, right? And we work so hard to gain that muscle that it can be frustrating, right? It's always up and down, but I'm very happy. I've gained about, I want to say, I think it's 6.5 muscle mass in pounds. And it was hard, right?
It's hard work.
It's hard work, right? And even then, till this day, I struggle to gain more, right? Without gaining body fat along with it, right? So one of the tips that I wish I would have known when I started is LISS, right? That's something I learned through the NASM course. LISS stands for low intensity state cardio. So basically that's when you're doing a steady amount of cardio for like a long time, but it's not like you're not running like 100 miles per hour for like an hour. No, it's like very like steady state and it's low intensity. So whether you're on the stairs, on the treadmill, swimming, biking, or even brisk walking, right? So something that me and Sarah love to do, and we didn't even when we met each other, we're like, oh shit, you do that too, is like stairs, right? And we do stairs. I do stairs like 30 minutes, and I started at level 5, now I'm at level 6. And then for treadmill, I'll do 3.2. So it's not like crazy running, but the incline is level 10. And this isn't a universal number. Everybody's different. But that's what I've noticed that helps me retain that muscle but keep my body fat low, right? And you've learned that too from your trainer and everything, right?
Yeah, so to add on to that, that's been something that I've been struggling with my journey. And of course, everyone is different goals, but my goal is to really gain muscle and to lower my body fat. So I've been working with a personal trainer. I started working with him just for a meal plan because I thought that I was doing enough with my workout. And he gave me a meal plan, and I was on that for a month, and I would check in with him after a month. I was losing weight, but not necessarily body fat. It was at the same percentage, and it would drop like very little, like less than 1%. And it's frustrating because you're sacrificing, you're putting in the work, you're showing up each day, and you're just assuming that the number's gonna drop. That wasn't the case. So I resumed with that meal plan for one more month, and again, it did not drop very much. So with just kind of conversation, I joined his personal training, and I'm seeing him 3 times a week, and I'm seeing him for just legs, and that is again when we can go a little bit heavier. And I'm noticing that the workouts are different. It's different to have someone telling you, correcting your form, telling you how to breathe. All that stuff really plays into lifting heavy. And again, the focus is to really gain muscle and drop the fat. So the more that you lift, the more that you're going to burn in fat. And that is something that, it's just like Michelle said, it's a struggle. She struggled to gain the muscle, but also maintain the body fat, not necessarily gain it. And that is something that I'm experiencing right now. So I fully understand that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us don't totally get that. It's a struggle, but like I always say, progress is not linear, right? It's not like point A, straight line, I'm going to get to point B. It's gonna be curvy. It's gonna be curvy, but you'll get there, and it's okay. You're gonna have those ups and downs, and we're in this together, muscle mommies and papis. You got this, okay? But anyway, speaking of Stairmaster.
Yes, so on the Stairmaster, we picked up on a few gym personalities.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I people watch when I'm on there.
Yeah.
I used to do it all the time, like during lunch from work, I would walk, and it's 30 minutes, so you're gonna get bored and just people watch, because at our gym it's like upstairs, so it's like you see like all these
with our setup. Our cardio stuff is like upstairs, so once you're on the Stairmaster, you can oversee the first level. And let me tell you, people watching is pretty entertaining when you're on that Stairmaster for 30 minutes.
It is it's funny, and there's like a bunch of gym personalities, so we're just gonna go over them. We're not making fun of anybody. It's just fun. I'm pretty sure some people have also looked at us and probably laughed at whatever shit we
were doing.
It is what it is. But the first one is
the gym warrior.
Yeah. So the gym warrior, we all know that person. I feel like maybe we've been one in our fitness journey, and it's basically the person that you see at the gym that is lifting really heavy, but they have really bad form, and some people call it ego lifting. Now, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I've been guilty of it before, where, you know, I think it was like a T-bar row or whatever. I was with Ryan, and like I was happy that I was like going up in weight, and I was like, yeah, just add another plate. But then like I start like bouncing, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, you're not even, what are you working out right now? Because I don't see the muscle you're working out right now. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, take the plate off. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's good to have someone there to check you, or even I've had moments where I check myself, you know, have you checked yourself? Like, it's just normal.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good to like watch your form, to like work out in front of a mirror or to practice, because you really are just checking for that form. And very similar to Michelle's story, like earlier today when I was at the gym, I was working on chest, and I grabbed the 30-pound dumbbells, and I was like pressing, and I was like, I don't know why, but this seems a lot heavier than normal, and I couldn't keep going. So I put them down. I was like, all right, this is a little bit embarrassing, but I'm gonna have to put it down, grab something a little bit lower, like a 25 or a 22 even, and just do more reps of that lower weight, because I don't want to end up hurting myself where I'm out at the gym like for a few days, or I just don't want to like just do it like Michelle said, like ego lifting. It sucks, you know. There's some days where your strength is a lot higher than other days, and it just fluctuates. It just depends. So just kind of also checking yourself and understanding that it doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that it's just not.
It's just one
of stays. Exactly.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I like that. I like that she recognized it in herself, because I know a lot of the times, I'm sure it's happened to maybe you or like someone you know, but it's gonna happen where like, you know, like sometimes we're like, no, I know I've done these 30s. Like, there's like the fucking hot guy in the corner where you're like, fuck, he's gonna see me be weak. Like, nah. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, trust me, I've been there too. But it's like, if you recognize it, then, you know, just drop those weights. Because honestly, it is better to have good form then be lifting heavy and then you're not even hitting the right muscle group, right? Like maybe the dumbbells won't go all the way down, or you're not arching your back properly, and then you're just working your shoulders and not your chest, or whatever, right? Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then you're not going to progress and you can injure yourself. So like I guarantee you like 100% that the person that is doing lower weight but is doing great form is going to have way better results than the person that is lifting heavy but they're not even targeting the muscle group that they're supposed to.
100%.
You know what I mean? And like sometimes we just have to check ourselves, and I've checked myself. My friends will check me, which I love that. I know sometimes we can get a little scared or intimidated, but I would rather have somebody tell me. It's equivalent to when I have cilantro on my teeth. If nobody tells me and we've been hanging out all day, I'll be like, you're not a true friend, motherfucker. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Okay.
But yeah, that's that. The next one
we have is the selfie queen and king.
Ding, 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 ding. Guilty as charged. No, for real, I am that person that you see taking selfies, not even at the gym, like everywhere, like at the gym, everywhere outside. That's just who I am. I'm annoying. I know it myself. It is what it is. I will take 100 and I'll only use like one, you know, but I don't do it like to hog up the equipment. I only do it during my rest time.
Yes.
Like I won't
I'm
ever
a witness
like
to that.
yeah, she's a witness. I will never be that equipment hog. And honestly, yeah, for especially during rest time, because that's my toxic trait. I freaking hate waiting. Like even my own rest time, I always try to do like a 1 minute to 2 minute max rest time, and sometimes I'm like, I just want to go, like I just want to keep going, you know, but I'm like, that's bad, Michelle, because then you won't complete your reps, or you won't, you know, you won't go as far as you can when you don't stay true to your rest times. So what I'll do is distract myself and be like, okay, I got 1 minute to take selfies. But that's me. I'm guilty.
Okay, and then the third on our list is the grunter and moaner.
Do we do that? I'm like, it's normal to like go, like you, you know, it's normal, right? Yeah. Like some of us cuss, some of us grunt, some of us moan. Apparently,
no, I don't moan. No, I grunt or I cuss. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I will cuss too. Yeah. It's just normal, especially if you're like pushing that heavy last rep. Dude, like that, it's always that last
you
rep.
don't know what's like what you're saying at the moment. It just comes out. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. It's normal.
Yeah.
But there are those people that you can hear from across the room, and you're like,
take it really far.
Whoa, what is happening?
Yeah.
Which I actually have 2 stories. So, okay. One of them was from where I worked, which I will beep, and I'm talking a lot of shit, and I'm just kidding. No, like I love my old job, like honestly. But there was definitely different personalities that I got to meet. But anyways, we used to have classes like every 30 minutes, right? I'm not gonna say which time, or else they're gonna know who I'm talking about. But there was this specific slot class where there was like a bunch of women would come to it, and they were like beautiful older. I call them trophy wives, and you know, just that boss bitch energy. And so at our job we would progress people, right? And my partners, because there was always 2 coaches, they were males, but they were built. So when we would have them do high planks, like if we would progress, like I would put a sandbag on them, and like it was chill. Yeah. But then when they would, you know, they're all muscular, they'd be like like the first time I was like, oh my god, like, is someone hurt? Like, do I need to use my CPR shit already? Like, I was like, bro, like, oh my god, I gotta use this for real. Like, and like they would look at me and we'd crack up, but like, I mean, it's just harmless. It was funny. Was it necessary? I don't know, but it was funny.
It's not necessary. No,
I know
it's not necessary.
And then the other one was the grunter. Oh my god, it was me and Ryan. We were squatting. There's this like black like rack machine or whatever, the cage. And so they were there. It was like a group of guys like together. And then we were just both squatting, and then he was trying to tell me a story, but I couldn't concentrate. He couldn't even concentrate in telling me the story because literally this guy, there was a pillar by the cage. He grabbed the pillar and just starts banging his head, and he's like, ah! And then me and him stop, and we're like, don't laugh. And then he goes and does like 1 rep of like 3 plates, and I'm just like, bro, this is a commercial gym. Like, we're not, like, this isn't a powerlifting. Like,
he was fighting demons that day.
Yeah. It was hilarious, but I was like, okay. So that was that.
And we have next the sweat drippers.
Oh my god, I'm guilty of that too.
Me
Sorry.
too.
Yeah,
I
sweat a lot.
Yeah, we sweat a lot. And the sweat just depends on how hot that day is or the supplements you're taking, because some supplements will make you sweat.
Yeah.
Which we'll kind of dive into a little bit later. But yeah, I'm guilty as that as well.
I'm guilty too. And honestly though, like, it's not that we're talking like, oh, don't sweat. Obviously, we can't control that.
Sweating
like, I sweat a lot. Sweating is good. But basically what we're saying is like, just clean up after yourself though. Like, if you're gonna leave a flood on a seat, like, at least wipe it down for the next person, because sometimes like the gym will run out of the paper towels or the sanitizing wipes, and it's like, if you don't have one, like, you know what I mean, like, clean up after yourself. Like,
yeah, if you know you sweat a lot, just go to the gym prepared with your towel, your wipies, or whatever it is, but just go prepared, knowing that you sweat.
I sweat a lot, like she said, like on certain supplements or like a pre-workout. I will, like, I'll be dripping so much, and I'm like, oh, this is gross, like, I need to wipe it for the next person, because no one wants to go on there, like, and go on something sweaty. And it's not good hygiene. And I know some of the people that know I train jiu-jitsu are gonna be like, Michelle, you sweat and bleed on people when you do jiu-jitsu. That's different. Okay, we have a different hygiene. Everybody showers before you go there. We wash our gis, and usually there's like a protective layer of clothing. But even when we do no gi, like, yeah, we're sweating on each other, but we all know each other. Like, I've been there for 9 years. This is different. This is a commercial gym. You get people from all walks of life, and you don't know them. You don't know if they showered before or not.
You know their hygiene.
This is why, guys, wipe down your equipment. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to get allergic reactions or ringworm. You know what I mean? And honestly, it's just gym etiquette, right?
It is.
It's like, treat everybody in the gym as like your roommates, right? We're all paying rent there. We're all paying a monthly fee. Like, let's just have respect for each other, you know?
All right, guys, let's get into pre-workout and protein.
And other supplements that we're probably going to talk about.
Okay, so for pre-workout, actually Michelle and I, we didn't know this before, but we take the same pre-workout on leg day.
We do.
And that's BioFreak. We'll post it here.
Because we both ran out, sadly. But we don't use it every day, just leg day.
Just leg day, yeah, just because it's pretty intense. So BioFreak, I started taking it for about, I want to say it's been like 4 or 5 months now. And I really do like this pre-workout. It was gifted to me by one of the gym theos as a birthday gift. And I've been taking it since then for leg day, just because it's a pretty intense pre-workout, right, Michelle?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones. I've taken many, but that's really honestly my current favorite.
Current favorite ones, yeah, exactly. And I've noticed that with taking this pre-workout that I do tend to sweat a lot. Like we mentioned earlier, some supplements will make you sweat, and we both can say that it does.
I sweat, I drip on that. And it's because it has an ingredient that's a thermogenic, which burns fat, so you're gonna sweat a lot. But I think one of the reasons why this is such a really potent freaking pre-workout is because of the caffeine intake, right? So this one specifically, I have the ingredients pulled up here. For BioFreak, the caffeine is 350 milligrams. And I know we're just throwing numbers out there, but just to give you an idea, most pre-workouts are like 250 to 300, and this one's 350.
Yeah.
And like even Celsius, I think this one is
200 now?
200.
Yeah.
200. So that already, it's like 350 milligrams. And then also the beta-alanine, which we're going to talk about later, is another key ingredient in a pre-workout. It's the tingly sensation that you feel. Basically, this one has 3,500 milligrams. And then mostly, check your pre-workout right now. If you're at home, check it. Look at the ingredients and compare the caffeine content with this one. And the beta-alanine. Most beta-alanine in most pre-workouts are like 2,000 to 3,000. I've even seen some very low of like 1,000. But this one's 3,500, so... Yeah. But so what was your experience when you first tried it?
Actually, my experience went really well when it was handed over to me as a gift. My gym theo did warn me. He did tell me take about half a scoop first. Don't go in with taking a full scoop because it is pretty intense.
It is.
So I did listen to him this time, and I took half a scoop, and I noticed immediately that I was like focused in my workout, and I was able to like last longer. That was my experience. I don't consider myself sensitive to caffeine, so maybe that's why I didn't really feel like much of the tingling sensation. It might be different for others, but I would say overall my experience went well. After I slowly started progressing to 1 scoop, so now I do a full scoop of BioFreak when I take it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do 2 scoops too now, but oh
What?
my God. Yeah. Or I'll do 1.5, to be honest.
That's what she's... I'll just kill it during leg day. Now I know her secret.
No, honestly, like, if you're doing leg day right, like, leg day should be brutal for you. And, like, that's why a lot of people take pre during leg day. I know some people take it every day, but I can't do that because then I feel like I'm going to rely on it. So I only take it on, like, heavy leg days.
Yeah.
But, okay, so my experience with BioFreak, so I had already taken, like, a bunch of pre-workout, and, like, it was, like, not really my thing. Didn't really do anything for me that much. And then I was introduced to BioFreak by, shout out to Ryan. He introduced it to me. And, oh my God, read your labels, you guys. I just, like, I think it said, like, 1 scoop. And then, like, if you're experienced or if you've taken it before, you can take 2. And I was also learning how to dry scoop. I know some people are like, dry scooping is dumb.
I've never dry scooped. I don't want to.
Some people are like, dry scooping is dumb. But I don't know. I went through this little phase, and sometimes I still do it too. I like it. I feel it instant. I feel like it hits my bloodstream instant. I don't know. Some people say that's bullshit, but I just literally, like, I cannot have a lot of liquid while I'm working out because I'm not going to finish it. And then I'll be done with my workout and I'll still have like a freaking 8-ounce or 16-ounce bottle of liquid. So it's just my preference. But I digress. Okay, so we were doing leg day, and then Ryan's like, yeah, you gotta try it, it's really good. And like their flavors are good, like they're just so good. I think I had sour watermelon. It was something watermelon, and then I've had the green apple one. But so good, right? So I'm like, okay, like because I had taken pre-workout before and I was like, like it didn't really do anything for me. He was like, well, just take 2 scoops like me. But I was kind of scared because I'd never really dry scooped like that before. So I'm like, okay, like, so I just kind of like eyeballed half of a scoop. And then he's like, well, you're not going to feel it. And I was like, okay. So then I eyeballed another half scoop. He's like, that wasn't half. So then I was like, okay. I like dry scooped again. And I was like, wait, did I like take 3 or 2.5? Who knows? But I know it was way more than 1.
No, dude, that's crazy.
Like if you were to equal it. So whatever, like I'm in the gym, and then like boom, we're doing pin squats, and like in the middle of the pin squats I start feeling the tingling sensation, and I'm like, ooh, this is good. And then like throughout the whole workout I was like, oh hell yeah, like I feel the pump. I'm like, dude, like I love this. And I'm like sweating, I'm all pumped. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is my new favorite. And he's like, yeah, I told you. Whatever. So we're leaving, we hug each other, and I'm like, okay, I gotta work out. I mean, I'm gonna go out later. So you know, I still felt jumpy and pumped in the car, but I'm like, oh, this is probably normal. And like, you know, my heart's racing.
This is normal, right?
This is normal.
No.
I get home and I'm like, I got to shower, get ready to go out. But I'm like, my room is spinning. And I was like, okay, I can't shower just yet. Like, let me just lay down. And as soon as I lay down, whoosh, my whole room is just spinning even more. And I was like thirsty. I was like, oh my God, my heart. It felt like I was on an edible, but like not the opposite of feeling sleepy. Like I was up. Like, did I do lines or something? You know, I was like, and my friends were texting me like, hey, we're going to go out, get ready. Like, and I was like, I don't think I can do it. I was like, there's no way I can go out. Like my head was spinning. If I were to drink, like there's just no way. Like, dude, I showered literally like 3 hours later. I know, gross. Okay. But I just like, there's no way I could not. So that was my experience. I learned my lesson. But yeah, read your labels.
Yes, no, yeah, of course, read your labels. Please read your labels, because similar to Michelle's story, I have something similar, but it was actually with a fat burner. Oddly enough, it wasn't with a pre-workout. So I'm currently taking 2 blends of one a fat burner. It's a carnitine from Evogen. It has caffeine in it, and the other one is an Evogen Liposide IR. And so I'm taking these to my trainer.
I've heard that brand actually.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty popular.
Yeah.
So I take these 30 minutes before cardio, and let me tell you, you sweat with these too.
Oh God,
yes.
I bet. So
when I first ordered these and I got them in the mail, I was super excited to try them. And when I open them up, the label says on the Liposid IR says, new stronger formula, start with half a scoop. So I read it and I was like, no, you don't know me. I was like, tell me what to do.
You took it personally.
I was
like, half a scoop? Nah.
I can do a full scoop. So I do a scoop and then I do a scoop of the Carnigen with caffeine. So these two have caffeine.
Oh my God, let me see, hold on.
So
oh shit, this one has 100.
This one has
200.
200. No, 300. 300
so
and
that's like a total
400.
of 400. And remember, BioFreak had
350.
350, and this has 200. So she took 400 milligrams.
I took 400 milligrams.
And she actually even more because half a scoop is 100.
No, it says full scoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
the
was
serving
like,
size.
holy shit.
Yeah, read your labels because they'll say one scoop.
See, read your fucking labels.
So 400 milligrams of caffeine. And I'm at the gym, I'm on the Stairmaster, and I'm like feeling the pump. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely this is helping me push through because I hate cardio. I do it because I have to do it, but I was pushing through. It was like 45 minutes on the Stairmaster. That's a pretty long time on the Stairmaster, let me tell you. I felt it afterwards, still after my workout when I was driving home. Like Michelle said, like you get this like, you feel your heart racing and it's pumping and it's like it wants to like pump out of your chest. And you're like, what is wrong? What's wrong with me? And I was like, it was the fat burners.
Yeah.
And
No,
like,
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like one of the things of pre-workouts is the caffeine. So like read that intake if you're sensitive to it. But yeah, that reminds me of like how she's telling me like of our experiences, how she's talking about it. There is actually, I was telling you about this the other day.
Okay.
There is this pre-workout that was actually banned, and this happened like, I don't know, 10 years ago. Don't even quote me on that, but I'm gonna put it right here. Original Jacked. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it. If you have, comment below. But I personally never tried it. But basically it ended up being banned because people that were like in the Olympic weightlifting competitions or bodybuilding, when they would test it came out. They banned the substance. I think it's called DMAA. Mm-hmm. And because of the adverse effects it had on some people. And let me tell you like how extreme it is. So crazy. I had a coworker, she doesn't work there anymore, but I remember we were like on our way to the gym and I was like, hey, do you want some of my BioFreak pre-workout? And she's like, oh no. She's like, I only take non-stem. So there's like non-stem and then stem. So meaning like one where you feel it and one where you don't. So she takes the one where you don't feel anything. And I go, well, like, why not? Like, and she goes, no, trust me. Like I used to be like in a pre-workout. She was like in a CrossFit and she would do CrossFit competitions. So she told me that like long time ago, she was getting ready for her CrossFit competition and she was like, I'm going to take 2 scoops of Jacked. And she said she took 2 scoops of Jacked and she said she couldn't even compete. They took her to the ER because she said her heart felt like it was coming out of her chest. Her blood pressure was like skyrocketing. Yeah. It was crazy. She had to go to the ER. Mm-hmm. They had to like, yeah. But that was like, what the heck? And like, that's when I started like Googling it and like I had heard about it, but I'd never met anybody that took it. But yeah, apparently it's banned. I think they still sell it, but without that ingredient, DMAA. But yeah, so read your labels.
Moral of the story is read your labels. Because you know like the effects it's having on you, like the external effects that you can feel, but you really don't know the internal effects. Like she said, like her friend had to go to the ER. Yeah. And they told her high blood pressure was like, her blood pressure was high, right?
Yeah, her blood pressure was high. I don't remember all of the details, but yeah. No, it's crazy. But going back to the pre-workout, right? Like there's a bunch out there in the market. If you really want it to work, just make sure you do your research and you look at the ingredients, as long as it has enough caffeine content. And also one of the key ingredients that I look for, along with other ones, but to me is beta-alanine. So beta-alanine, which I have another story on that.
My show's full of stories, guys.
Honestly, like my life is, I don't even know. No, I'm just kidding. But basically, beta-alanine it's what you take and what pre-workout has. It enhances your performance and decreases your muscle fatigue, right? So long time ago, before I was in my lifting journey, I was like mainly into jiu-jitsu, and I would do like strength and conditioning like once or twice. I wasn't really into like the lifting life, right? So like I said, I've never really been a fan of pre-workout before BioFreak. So I was like, okay, what can I take that's really gonna help me like last longer during rolls. Because I would get really fatigued like rolling, because I would go like twice a day. Little did I know, all I had to do was eat. Oh, rolling in jiu-jitsu, for those of you that don't know, is like when you're sparring with someone. So when you're going nonstop for 5 minutes straight, sometimes 7 minutes straight. So it's like constant, right? You're pushing their weight off, they're pushing you, things like that, right? So I would get tired, but it's because I was going like twice a day at the time.
Twice a day?
Yeah, I was like a blue belt. I was like all in love with it, which I still am. But yeah, anyway, so I was like, a little did I know, like all I had to do was eat, you know, more, you know, and recover better. But I was thinking like, where's this magic powder, whatever. So I was like researching, and people in jiu-jitsu and lifting community had told me like, oh, you should try beta-alanine. Just take it. If you don't want to take pre-workout, just take that alone. Like all you need is 5 grams. And I was like, okay. So I went to Bulk Supplements, which I love that website if you're looking for like single ingredients. And they had a big bag of beta-alanine, and like whatever, I got it was pure, nothing was in it. I got it home, but it didn't have a measuring stick, so, or like, you know, like a scoop or anything. Yeah. But on the back it said, you know, 5 grams only. If you're starting out, start with 2 grams. But I was like running late to jiu-jitsu, and I was like, fuck it, like I don't have anything to measure. So I just opened my kitchen drawer, took out a teaspoon or whatever it was, tablespoon, and I kind of just eyeballed it. I was like, I think like half of this spoon is like 3 grams, 5 grams. I'm like, I'll be good. So put it in water, chugged it, and then I was on my way to jiu-jitsu. And my route is like 20 to 30 minutes. So enough time for it to kick in. So I'm driving, and then out of nowhere, my ears start itching, like the outer corners, and it's tingling, and it feels hot, like steam or something. So I look at the rearview mirror, and I'm like, they're not red. Like, am I getting an allergic reaction to this? Then like my hands start itching, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm holding the steering wheel all tight. My feet are itching. It felt like ants were crawling on my feet, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting an allergic reaction. I'm gonna die. And I'm like Googling, like I almost was gonna exit the freeway, dude. I start Googling, and I'm like, what are like the reactions to beta-alanine, the side effects? And then it said, oh, what you're experiencing is paresthesia, or whatever it's called, paresthesis, whatever it is. But basically what happens is that if you take over the amount you're supposed to take, going back to reading fucking labels, you're gonna experience that. It's gonna cause that itching sensation. But it said, relax, it's temporary, it'll go away. And I was like, don't tell me to fucking relax, like I'm gonna die. But yeah, I guess it had said like ingesting high amounts, like it was responsible for initiating that temporary itch. But I gotta tell you, the itch and tingling, like it was the worst thing I had experienced in my life, because I took more than I was supposed to. But then once like I started rolling, or like, you know, working out, like it goes away. It goes away once you start working out. But that was my experience with beta-alanine. I was like,
So like we said, guys, read those labels.
Read those fucking labels. Creatine. I want to talk about creatine before we get into protein. But I do take creatine. I mostly take it when I'm bulking. So when I'm bulking, I take creatine. When I'm on maintenance calories, or when I'm shredding, I won't take creatine. Because yes, it can bloat you, but there are some, they're not rumors, what's the word for it? There's like people talking on the internet saying like, don't take creatine, it's gonna make you look fat. That is not entirely true. That is only true if you do not drink water, and you're not dieting right, and you're not lifting heavy. So it's like, if you're just taking creatine and you're not working out and you're not drinking water, then yeah, you're gonna get bloated. And also you're gonna cramp like hell. Because let me tell you, when I first started taking it, I wouldn't really drink a lot of water. Dude, I had cramps in the most bizarre places, like my chin.
Your chin?
My calf. Yeah, I remember I'd be like, dude, like if I move, like I'm gonna die. Like I was like literally. And like jiu-jitsu in the middle of nowhere, and like people would be like, well, are you drinking water? Because you're taking creatine. And I'm like, maybe.
No. Had a bottle of water.
I'm much better now, but yeah, no. If you're gonna do creatine, drink water.
Okay, let's get into protein now.
Protein. So I think we made a post and we talked about like what are your favorite proteins. And you guys gave us a lot of good suggestions. So we kind of wanted to talk about the proteins that we like. Do you want to start with yours?
Yes. So when it comes to protein, I try to keep it very simple. I'm looking for something that has a good amount of protein and is fairly low on calories. So my two go-to are going to be the Dimetized ISO 100.
I love that one. I've tried that one too.
Yeah. So this has 120 calories and 25 grams of protein.
And that's one scoop, right?
Yeah, one scoop.
What I like about that is I've actually double scooped it so I can have double protein and it doesn't get chunky. Because I know that there's some proteins out there that just get so like chalky.
They do, yeah. And this one doesn't. I love the flavor. Right now I'm doing peanut butter, but my go-tos are always peanut butter or some sort of chocolate. Have you had the Fruity Pebble one?
No, I've heard that one.
I've tried that one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I
thought it was going to be like
sweet,
super sweet, but it's a good amount of sweetness where it's not overdoing or it's overpowering. But yeah, I would say those three I highly recommend: chocolate, peanut butter, and the Fruity Pebble ones.
I want to try Fruity Pebbles now. That is also one of my go-to proteins. Another one, so I went through this phase. I call it phase, but I had actually a lot of bad acne and I was trying everything right. So I was like, okay, let me cut out dairy. So for a bit I did cut out dairy. So I was like, okay, I have to find a good vegan protein, but that's gonna pack a lot of protein. Right? So it was hard, but I finally found one, and I actually learned this one from one of the Diaz brothers. If you guys are into like UFC or like MMA, you should know who the Diaz brothers are. But Nate Diaz, he put this on his Instagram once, and it's called Garden of Life. I'm gonna put it here, and they have a bunch of protein, but he got I think it was the sports one, and I was like, okay, if he's taking it, it might be good, right? So I looked up the ingredients first before even getting one, and basically I don't have it with me, but I popped it up right here so I can tell you the exact ingredients. But I don't think I've ever found a vegan protein that packs this much amount of protein.
How much?
So with 2 scoops, you get 30 grams of protein, which is really good. So 1 scoop is 15, and 1 scoop is 80 calories. But I would always do 2 scoops, which that's the serving size, is 2 scoops. So you're getting 30 grams of protein.
Okay.
You're only getting, how many carbs? Oh, you're getting 7 grams of carbs, and sugar's 0, or I think it's, 0. And then calories is 160.
160.
Fiber 2 grams, and then fat is 3 grams. But anyways, what I mainly look for are the calories, carbs, and sugar, and obviously protein. But 30 grams, and then on top of that, it has like a really good amino acid profile, alanine, arginine, all of that good stuff. And one of my concerns when getting this is I was like, I don't want it to have soy. I know that there's a lot of like research that says like, oh, that's been debunked, and some people say no, it causes high estrogen. You know what? When I always say, like, don't believe everything on the internet. Always, always, always find your resources online. Don't go on Google or like Cosmopolitans that told me that I should, you know what I mean? Like, do your research. One of the most reputable websites out there are NASM, their National Sports Academy, is a bunch out there. So, just do your research, but this one doesn't have soy, which I love. So this was one of the ones that I really liked, and I've only had vanilla, but I think they have other flavors, but I've only tried that. So that one was really good, and I would do it with almond milk, and it wasn't chalky, it wasn't nasty, it was good. I would always like put bananas and spinach in there, or sometimes strawberry. I like that one. And then another one that I'm going to talk about, or did you have another one too?
Yeah, I have one more. So I have a second one, and this is which one is this one? Optimum Nutrition.
I love the way
gold
it's
standard.
packaged.
Yeah, so this is from Costco. Costco is going to be, I would say, is your go-to for protein for most of the time. You get, a bigger value for a reasonable price. I think this is like $50 or something like that.
But it's a big bag.
It's a big bag, yeah. So this has 80 servings. Similar to the ISO 100, is 120 calories. Protein is 24, so 1 gram less than that one. Carbs is 4 grams of carbs. Sugar is 1 gram. So very low in carbs and sugar. This is the vanilla one. I've had the chocolate one.
Ooh.
Chocolate is really good, but because I already have chocolate in one, I try to do something a little bit different. This is a vanilla ice cream. I usually do this with just water. if I'm cutting, just have it with water, very simple. But if you add the milk, that's when you tend to add like a little bit more calories, which is something wrong with that.
Sorry.
But
I just wanted to, I was like almost gonna laugh, but when she said water, it reminded me, have you guys seen that meme where it's like Christian Bale from American Psycho, and then they put a clip of him and they put, "You're a psycho if you drink your protein with water."
Is it?
No, I do it too, but it just reminded me. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I drink both of these with water. Those are my go-to. I've had the Garden of Life. I think it's the meal replacement.
I've never had that one.
That one, it has like that chalky flavor.
I don't like that.
Yeah, which I wasn't a fan of, but I haven't tried the sports one.
The sports one is not chalky.
Yeah, if you're saying that one's good, then
it's good. I've only tried vanilla, but I haven't tried the meal replacement one.
Yeah,
I could only imagine since it's like thicker or like more calories, probably because it's replacing a meal. I haven't tried that one, but I might be opt to try because it's a big bag. Now, one of my other favorite proteins, I don't know if you can get it online. You might be able to, but if not, there should be a NutriShop around you. And this is probably one of my favorite proteins ever. What is it called? I don't even know what it's called. I just say NutriShop, but it's a Vitasport. And the reason why I like it, which I have strawberry, because I went through like a strawberry milkshake phase, but their Oreo one is good too. Once I run out, I'm going to get the Oreo one. I like this one because you just need one scoop. And you know what? It has 34 grams of protein. One scoop has 34 grams of protein, carbs 2 grams, sugars 0, and fat 1 gram. No saturated fat. So it's like crazy. And like it has potassium 380 grams. And this is all one scoop. So I love this one. And you would think that because it's just one scoop and it's huge and it has a lot of protein that it's gonna be chalky and thick. It is so smooth. Oh my god. I'll do water or almond milk. So good, I swear. But Oreo's good too, but I like this one. And then just quickly, I just want to go over this one.
What is that?
So this one I do want to say Outcast. They kind of sponsor me. I think this should be out already at Sprouts, but basically they sent me chocolate smoothie and vanilla. They sent me those two flavors. I don't know if they have any other ones, but this is at your local Sprouts. And this one is another vegan option. This one tastes good, but the protein, in my opinion, is a little bit. The protein is where is it?
Oh, it's right. That's about
18 grams.
Oh, it's not that
so it's not that much.
Yeah.
And it's just one scoop, 18 grams. So if I do take this, I will double scoop it. It doesn't get chalky, but it does get really thick. So I don't really like that sensation a lot. They're probably gonna be like, bitch, we're not gonna sponsor you anymore. But whatever.
How many calories?
I'm just being honest. The calories are 110. The fat's 2 grams. The carbs are 5. It's just sugar 0. And I don't think this one has soy. No, this one doesn't have soy. So the one thing I do like about this is that it does have digestive enzymes, which is good, and probiotics. So it'll keep you with that healthy gut. But I do like the flavor. And when I'm out of protein or I'm running, like I gotta, go, this will do. But yeah, it's only 18 grams. That's that. And then, okay, lastly, to close off, I love Quest protein bars, and those are one of my favorite protein bars. But I gotta say, Costco. Look at there.
Good old Costco.
I always come back to Costco. One time I stopped and I went with Quest, but then I came back because they're just more affordable. And oh my god, so this one's chocolate chip cookie dough, and this one is chocolate brownie. What I love about these is that one bar has 21 grams of protein and 10 grams of net carbs. So what net carbs means is when you look at the ingredient list, just a little tip. When you look at the ingredient, you're going to see that it says 22 grams of carb. But because it has fiber, 10 grams of fiber, you subtract that. So subtract the fiber with the carbs, it gives you 10 grams of net carbs. So something that I've learned along the way. But yeah, and carbs are good for you anyway, especially after a heavy leg day. Just saying. If you want that booty to grow, you got to eat carbs. But 21 grams of protein, 10 grams of net carbs, and fiber. The fact that it has fiber is like amazing. And only 2 grams of sugar, and
I didn't notice
they
that.
are so soft and chewy. Oh my god.
You know what? I need to give you the second try because I did try them once and I wasn't a fan. I think they were probably sitting out for too long.
I've had stale ones, so definitely don't
Yeah.
let them sit out. I know some people that I know put them in the freezer. I just cannot put them in the
break
freezer.
your teeth.
Yeah, I was like, one time I was like, no. I've heard some people will microwave it for like 2 seconds, obviously without the wrapper.
Without the wrapper,
to
yes.
get that soft thing. But honestly, it's so soft. Look, I'm already making like a little indent. But it is so good, especially like sometimes I get the craving of like I want a cookie.
Chocolate.
This hits the spot. Chocolate brownie and chocolate chip cookie dough. Keep that one, or keep whichever.
you.
Yes, keep whichever one you want. Okay. But yeah, heard it in my DM. Or how does it go? It goes down in the DM. Ew. I'm getting old. Okay, like that was cringe. You're like you're like what? Okay, so earlier we did a post on our story. Going forward at the end, we're gonna have DMs, like answer the DMs. Time for DMs. I don't know. We'll come up with a better cool catchphrase.
Something better.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to answer any DMs. And we want you to know that if you want to remain anonymous, we'll keep it anonymous. If you want us to tag your handle, we'll definitely tag your handle, whatever works, right? But yeah, if you have any questions, we didn't get a lot because we just barely did the post this morning. But there was one, why shouldn't I date someone from my gym? So I think it's because in the first episode, we were kind of like, personal trainers are red flags.
That's exactly how it came off.
I know, I was like, but you know what, it was my, I had a lot of energy, okay.
She was pumped to tell the story.
But, okay, I didn't mean to say all personal trainers are bad or like, thou shall not date anyone from the gym. Like, no, like, just to piggyback from what I meant from episode 1 is, like, let me further elaborate. Basically, what I'm saying, like, this is my opinion, right? Why I think you shouldn't date someone from the gym, whether it's, home gym specifically, right? Whether it's CrossFit, commercial gym, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. This is based on experience. So I have been training jiu-jitsu for 9 years, okay? Been there, done that. So I learned through this, right? I will personally not date anyone from my jiu-jitsu gym because that is my home. I've been there for 10 years or 9 years. If I were to date someone from there, and let's say it doesn't go well, I'm going to have to see that person every night I go train. And even though I may be the better person or more mature, what if they're not? I can't count on them being mature, right? So I can only rely on myself and my own.
Control what you can.
Yeah, basically. So, I've heard stories, and based on my experiences, it's just not a good idea. Now, would I date someone? Am I gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna date anybody from jiu-jitsu at all? No. Like, if I meet someone at a competition or from another jiu-jitsu gym, why not? Because if it doesn't work out, hey, I'm not gonna have to see them. And same goes with a commercial gym. LA Fitness MPK, that is my home gym. That is where I really started my lifting journey. And it's okay to have a gym crush, but it is on me. If I were to further that, and let's say something goes sour again, I'm cool, but what if they're not? I'm gonna now want to go, oh, do I really want to go at this time?
Yeah.
Because this person's being dumb. It's just gonna affect my schedule. You know what I mean? I don't need that. Yeah. And you don't want that. You don't need that negative energy in your life because you can be the good person, but you don't know if they will. Now, if you visit gyms, I don't know if you guys have one, but I think you have one too. The type of gym memberships that I have 24-hour in LA Fitness. I can go anywhere, so any state, and I can use any gym. So I'm like, if I were to go to another LA Fitness or 24-hour or Speakeasy, what have you, and I were to see someone there cute, I would date them because I don't go to that gym all the time. That's not my home gym. So that's kind of what I meant, But yeah, I don't know if you have anything to say or you agree.
No, of course. And like Michelle said, it's not to say that never say never, but it is something to consider because especially if you are a person that works out regularly, 5 times out of the week, that is the gym that you go to. That's your routine. That's your place that you go to for yourself. You're not going for anyone else. So just something to keep in mind. But we wanted to hear your story. Have you guys found love at the gym? Love in the gym?
Because we have heard some good experiences. I think I knew someone that said they met Or I even seen it on like the, like the gym influencers, like they've met at the
Oh,
gym,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, it's cute. Good for you. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding for you. No. Honestly, like that's awesome. It's a gamble though. It's definitely a risk because you don't know if it's gonna work out. Okay, you want to read the next question?
Next question. Okay, should you block your ex on social media? Oof.
Dun, 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 dun.
Good question.
That's a good question. So, I will say. Okay, so I will say, if they were ugly and horrible, bug them. Why do you want to see them anyway? No, I'm kidding. No, but honestly, like, if having them on your feed is going to impact your healing process, let's say your healing process, and you're almost healing from this person, but then like constantly seeing them, their stories or their feed, if it's going to impact your healing process, right? If it's going to stunt your healing process, then you know what? It's okay. You're allowed to, because, that's your mental health that you got to take care of. And they'll probably get offended, but sometimes you do have to be selfish and you have to worry about your own mental health.
Yes.
Personally, I think it is okay. Now, but if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, if you're just doing it to get their attention or like, I'll show them, like, then it's like, I would say seek help, seek healing, and maybe you do need to heal, because you don't want to be toxic like that. It's just gonna prolong your healing process, and you're not opening the doors to your true love out there.
Yeah, to other possibilities. Also, this doesn't just apply to like boyfriend and girlfriend or ex-boyfriend and girlfriend. It also applies to like muting people on social media. Instagram has a feature where you can mute people, and I've muted a couple of people just because,
and they won't,
whatever reason, it doesn't matter. But so that is a reason you can mute people on Instagram or on social media, and that's just you setting a boundary. And people have to respect that boundary. You don't have to give them a reason why. You don't have to further elaborate. Give them, that's it. That's so that applies to not just relationships, but to just overall social media.
Yeah, period. Just like she said, setting boundaries. I love that. All right, and then we actually got some people in the comments too that were asking us about our favorite fitness apparel brands.
Yes.
So I will quickly go through my favorites. I love, I'm gonna put the brand up here, Soothfeel. I'm actually wearing their shorts right now because they're so comfortable. I'll stand up. I don't know if it'll show, but can you guys see them?
I can see.
With this here. Boom, boom, boom. No, I'm kidding. I love these shorts. I'm kind of sweaty, you guys, but they're squat proof.
Yes.
They have pockets, and these are short. I like booty shorts, 3 inches. But they also have 5 inches where they're longer. But I love the material, and they're so, oh my God. The quality is great, and they're so inexpensive. I used to buy them all the time, and then I would tag them all the time, and now the brand will send me some for free. So I'm not just saying it because now I get them for free. I am telling you, I got the receipts. I used to buy them all the time before, but honestly, you guys should definitely check them out. They have all designs, different colors, longer lengths. Love Soothfeel. That's one of my favorites. What about you?
So when it comes to gym apparel, I'm still kind of figuring out like what I like, but I'm looking for something that's really affordable. So lately I've been going through Amazon. Amazon has been my friend. Yeah, when it comes to gym apparel, I have a few leggings and 2 pair of biker shorts from this brand. I think it's called Arola.
Oh, you showed me. Were those the red ones?
The red ones, yes. The red ones I was wearing. So these are also affordable. They're about like less than $30. And they come in all different colors. The sizing, they actually are like true to size. The first pair I got in a medium, and they fit well, but I noticed that it's a very stretchy brand because it's like 56% nylon, 30% polyester, and then 10% spandex. So they're super stretchy. I got them in a medium, and then the other pair that I bought in a small because of how stretchy they were, and the small fits great. So I would say possibly size down, but check out their size chart. Those have been my current favorite ones, and I also have their leggings.
Her booty, I was gonna say butt, so like boot. Her booty looks so good in them. Like,
thank you.
I was like, damn. They remind me. I have Diosa fit. They look similar.
Yeah.
I think these are cheaper by like $5, but honestly, like her butt looks popping in them. I like Alphalete, but they're expensive, so I almost didn't want to mention them. They are pretty expensive, but Not everything from Alpha Elite. One time I brought these lime green leggings. I wish I could remember. I don't know if they were like Surge, because they come out with different collections. I can't remember what it was called. I think they were called Surge. Or Pulse. I don't remember. But I didn't know. At home, I don't have a lot of lighting unless I open my curtains. They looked fine. Oh my god, they were so see-through, but I didn't notice until my last workout. I like ran home. I didn't even do cardio. I was like, oh my god, like everyone's staring at me. Never again. I was like so pissed because they're so expensive. But they're shorts, the Revival line. Maybe if I were to get the leggings Revival, it'll be different. But the Revival shorts, they're just so thick and they're squat proof and they're not short. They're not as short as the Soothfield and they're not super long. Oh, I have blue and purple. And I want to buy more. Like, they're just so comfy too. Like, the material is really comfy. But really like the Alpha Elite Revival shorts. And then Crop Shop Boutique is another expensive one. I haven't tested out their leggings or shorts, but their bras are just so cute. Like, they're just so cute, especially for back day. Like, damn, that shit's popping. And
that's the one with the
straps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they even
so
have
cute.
halter tops. Cute, but they're a little expensive. Did you have another brand?
Currently those are my favorites. When it comes to like sports bras, I'm still using what I've been having for like the last year, and those are like my Nike sports bras. But I am looking for new gym apparel, fitness apparel, so
If
please
you
drop
have
your
some,
favorites below in the
them.
comments.
I also do want to say I've tried Gymshark.
Yeah.
We both have. And personally, I just can't. Like, it's always a hit or miss with them. And
when it comes to their leggings.
Yes.
To their leggings, because it's not squat.
I had bought these pink ones for Valentine's Day because I was being all girly. And, like, they were, like, I kept having to pull them up.
Oh.
And it was, like, extra small. That was the smallest thing. I'm like, it was weird because I'm small or extra small in other brands. And I was like, no, it's just not happening. Like, I felt so uncomfortable at the gym. Like, I don't know, I just don't like them. I haven't tried anything else, so I don't know if I have to give them a chance. But I've heard things like that too. Like, you told me how you had to return some shit.
Yeah, I bought like a few tops, a few bottoms, sports bras, and when it came to the leggings, they were not squat proof. Like, I was making sure, because like Michelle said, like, you don't want to find out once you're at the gym and you're like squatting or you're doing legs and you're like, that's a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah, and then it ruins your workout.
Yeah, I even had to like show my roommate. I'm like, can you see my butt? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I hate to return them because they look so cute. And I wanted to be like, I want to have cute gym apparel, look cute at the gym, but
yeah, it sucks when you spend money and it's like,
yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to do it, do it. Okay, lastly, I will talk about Buff Bunnies. I have not tried their clothing, but I have heard good reviews from Buff Bunnies. Look them up. The one thing I like about Buff Bunnies is that they're very inclusive about their sizes. So they're like not just extra small, they're like extra, extra small, and then they're like extra, extra large. And their variety is like so cute. Like, their designs are just beyond cute. Check them out, or if you have, let us know what you think. But I think I'm gonna buy them and like do a little review on them, just because I love that about them. Not many gym brands are like that, and I've just heard so much good reviews from it, and we love the name Buff Bunnies.
Yeah, that's cute.
Okay, so we kind of want to close it on a positive note. Something Sarah recently told me was like, hey, like, what do you do when you lack motivation? And I really love that question that she asked. And I always like try to remind myself, why did I start in the first place, right? Like, usually it's self-esteem, or you're just doing it for yourself, right? It's like therapy for me. Gym is therapy for me now. But yes, there are those days where you're just not going to have motivation, and that's where discipline comes in, right? Our parents kind of gave us the head start, right? When we were kids, they're the ones that instill discipline in us. Don't do this, don't do that. Then when we become adults, they're not always going to be there to watch what we're doing, right? So it's like they gave us a head start. Now it's up to us to have that discipline instilled in us. So I'm going to read a quote that I like from Mike Tyson. And he said, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. I'm going to repeat it again. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
And what I do is I need to have a foundation in place. So because of fitness, because of working out, I've built a foundation of just being consistent. making sure that I am eating enough food to have energy, making sure that I'm drinking enough water, that I'm going to bed on time so I can wake up early. I'm consistent with all these little things, all these little factors that play a huge part in having motivation. So when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, it's time to go to the gym, there are some days where I'm like, I just want to keep sleeping. I'm so comfortable. But I'm like, no, get up, because you love to do this. The waking up part is the hard part. But once you're in the gym, you're like, I'm glad I came. But it's just all those little parts coming together, and it's what builds that just consistency and then goes into motivation. When you lack motivation, you have the consistency, you have the foundation. And that's just something that, like, I heard it through like a video, I think it was like on Instagram. And also it's a popular TikTok audio, and we'll share
hey,
it.
I get motivation from there
We'll
too.
share it below. And I think it's like a strength coach, and she said, what do you do when you lack motivation? She's like, consistency. She's like, you need to have consistency first in order to have motivation. And it's one of those things, it's like, not all days gonna be perfect, you're not gonna feel the best every day, but as long as you have that foundation, then
honestly, amen to that. Consistency. I love that you said that, because it's so true, right? Like, motivation is hard. Motivation isn't always gonna be there, right? It's not gonna last long. And then that's where discipline comes in, right? But how do you instill discipline? How do you make it a habit, right? By being consistent. If you're just like, I'll wake up early one day, tomorrow I'm not. No, if you're consistent, it becomes a habit. It just becomes a part of your routine.
Yeah.
And it's like she said, the hardest part is waking up. But once you get past that hard part and you step foot in the gym, boom, then it all comes together, you know? Motivation is a feeling, discipline is action, and that's very true, because it is a feeling. I remember I used to say this to a lot of my former, not students, I don't even know if you remembers, at my old job, when we would talk about like discipline and having motivation. I would always tell them that discipline is a form of self-love, right? Because you're doing it for you. You are sacrificing temporary happiness for long-term happiness, right? So sometimes, waking up early, not sleeping in for that temporary happiness is going to be an effort, right?
Yes.
Not eating that chocolate chip cookie, because if you eat it, it's temporary happiness, right? But yeah, so that's kind of what we want to talk about.
Okay, guys, so we want to hear how you stay motivated on those days that, you're not feeling your best. So let us know down below.
Thank you again for supporting us. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video in the first episode, because it'll help us. Thank you so much. And then again, if you have any questions, DM us. If you want to stay anonymous, you will. But other than that, we hope you stay swole and have a happy workout. And this is
MuscleMamiTalk.